The evening started with polite laughter, the clinking of glasses, and that thin layer of charm that always hovers over corporate gatherings. I stayed close to my husband, Michael, watching him navigate a crowd of executives who spoke in rehearsed tones and careful phrases. For him, nights like this were a burden, a reminder that his success depended on fitting into a world that never truly welcomed him. It began to shift when his boss, Mr. Harrington, a man whose suits were as sharp as his tongue, started explaining a new company initiative. Michael pushed back, calm but firm, his disagreement standing out like a crack in glass. The group tensed, their smiles stiffened, the silence swelled, heavy and awkward, and before I could stop myself, I stepped forward. Actually, I think Mr. Harrington's plan makes more sense in the long run. The words slipped out too easily, as if by instinct, like I was trying to rescue the moment. But as soon as I said it, I felt Michael's gaze, a mix of disbelief and hurt, his eyes locking onto mine as though I'd struck him. For a beat, no one spoke. Then Harrington smirked, clearly pleased by the validation, and a ripple of forced laughter moved through the circle. It felt hollow in my ears. I had chosen the wrong side, not in private, but in public, in front of his boss, his colleagues, his entire world. Michael's jaw tightened, his knuckles whitened around his glass. He said nothing at first, but his eyes held a storm I'd never seen. The room went on without us, voices rising and falling, but between Michael and me, the silence roared. Then, suddenly, his voice cut through the air, sharp enough to stop every conversation around us. "Of course you'd agree with him," he said. "You've always admired powerful men telling you what to think." The laughter died instantly. Heads turned. My breath caught. I had believed I was diffusing tension, but I had ignited something I couldn't control. The quiet that followed his words was suffocating. People froze mid-sentence, glasses halfway to lips. My cheeks burned, but my skin felt cold, like ice under fire. "Michael," I whispered, but he didn't glance at me. His eyes were locked on Harrington, filled with fury and pain. Harrington gave a low, mocking chuckle, trying to ease the tension. "Come now," he said. "No need to take this personally, Michael. It was just a debate." But Michael's voice broke the air again, steadier now but darker. "No, it's not just a debate. When my wife decides to humiliate me in front of everyone, it stops being a discussion. When the one person who should stand beside me decides I'm wrong before I even finish, it's something else entirely." His words cracked, not with weakness, but with a rawness that made people gasp. Some averted their eyes, pretending to sip their drinks. Others leaned in, unable to look away. I wanted to reach for him, to explain, but the words tangled in my throat. "I've worked under you for years, Harrington," Michael continued, his voice low and steady now, his shoulders squared. "I've swallowed my pride more times than I can count. But tonight, in front of everyone, I realized something. If even my wife doesn't believe in me, why am I still here?" The words fell like stones into water, sending ripples through the crowd. Harrington's smirk faltered. My heart pounded, each beat echoing with guilt. "Michael, please." I tried again, but he finally looked at me. The fury was gone. In its place was something far worse, broken trust. He set his glass down carefully, the soft clink sounding louder than a gunshot. "Congratulations," he said quietly. "You've managed to embarrass me more than anyone in this company ever could." Then he turned and walked out, leaving me surrounded by whispers, shame pressing down on me like a weight I couldn't carry. After he left, the party felt like shards of glass. Laughter returned in uneven bursts, but it cut against my skin. People avoided my eyes, though I could feel their judgment circling me. I left soon after, rushing into the night, but he was already gone. His car wasn't in the lot. My calls went unanswered. Hours stretched like an endless corridor. I sat awake in our apartment, replaying every word, every choice. I hadn't simply disagreed with him. I had stripped him of dignity in front of the man who had made his career a torment. When Michael finally came home at dawn, he didn't look angry. He didn't look cold. He looked like someone who had already stepped away in his heart. He moved slowly, packing a small bag. "Michael, please," I begged, my voice cracking. "I didn't mean to hurt you. I thought I was doing the right thing. I wasn't thinking. He paused, looking at me for a long, aching moment. Exactly, he said softly. You weren't thinking of me. Not last night. Not when it mattered most. His words cut deeper than any outburst could. There was no yelling, no rage, only disappointment so heavy it hollowed me out. He left then, closing the door behind him with a quiet finality that shattered me more than any slam ever could. In the weeks that followed, the story of that night spread through his company like wildfire. To others, it was gossip, an unforgettable scene at a dull corporate party. But for me, it was the moment everything fell apart. I'd always thought betrayal came in grand acts, affairs, lies, secrets. I never realized it could arrive as a single sentence, spoken at the wrong time, in the wrong place, to the wrong person. And now I live with the echo of his words, the image of his back as he walked away, and the crushing knowledge that sometimes one mistake, one small, thoughtless betrayal, is enough to end everything.